Just like to say a few words in English on Parshas HaShavua, Parshas Miketz. We see in our Parsha, Yoisef HaTzadik. He didn't send a letter to his father. He could have told his father, Dad, I'm in Egypt. Here, I'm sitting on the throne. I want to tell you, everything is all right with me. Why didn't Yoisef send a letter to his father? His father's crying, moaning, Yoisef, where are you? You got kidnapped. That no father in the world should go through such an isoyon that the child gets kidnapped. 22 years. He knows he's alive, he doesn't know where he is. No phones, no nothing. Why did Yoisef send a telegram? It was in all this form. Chaskel Ebenstein, Chofetz Chaim, Friedlander. Why didn't he send a telegram or a letter? Why did he go to his father? He's the king. Why was Yoisef HaTzadik never beichidus with his father? He never sat alone. He made sure that his father never comes in and asks him, tell me, how did you get to Egypt? What happened? I sent you to Shem. I sent you to Doitan. You went, the Malach Gabriel. What's going on over here? The answer is that Yoisef HaTzadik had to come to Mitzrayim in order to be the king of Mitzrayim, in order to be Mekayim the Chaloimois, which he had, and the Ramban says that the Chaloimois is like a nevuah. He had to do it. He had to come to Mitzrayim. Otherwise, Yaakov Avinu would have had to go down to Mitzrayim with chains on his hands and feet. In order that Yaakov Avinu should go down to Mitzrayim, but kovoid, so Yoisef had to come the first, put the carpet, be the king of Mitzrayim, of all the dreams and everything. How did Yoisef HaTzadik know that the dreams of Paroi got to do with Tvua, and the Tvua has got to do with fields and with chitim, so'orim, what grows, he knew it's got to do with it. Yoisef HaTzadik sits in Mitzrayim. But the question is, who made Yoisef come to Mitzrayim? Who is Mitzay Yoisef? Who made Yoisef suffer? Even though the Aseret HaSfotim Tainet, that they had to come to Mitzrayim api din, because Yoisef had a din of a roidev. He was roidev them and everything. But why did you sell me to Mitzrayim with such a achzorius? With the kind of achzorius means achzar, mean, cruel. That's what the Pasuk says over here. The Pasuk says over here that the brothers Tainet, after Yoisef, put into the bags money and the glass and the gevi and the kois. But they Tainet, what's going on over here? Where did the money come from in our bags? Vayomu ishel ochiv. Aval Hashem im anachnu. Al achina shereinu. Tzoras nashoi bitchanono yeleinu. I mentioned it last week, that the brothers Tainet, maybe we saw Yosef crying, moaning, with tears. They took him and they beat him up. And the Medrash brings down whoever gave him a hit, his hand became disabled. He couldn't move it. They realized something's going on over here. And they wanted to give Yoisef back to his parents. And the Midyanim Tiny is already on the border of Mitzrayim. We can't go back. Let's sell him in Mitzrayim. But the brothers realized that they did something. Even though Api Din, the Mechir had to be done. But who are you to do it? Who are you to press the button? Who are you to do the hardship? Last week I told you, I said last week in Hebrew, that in the army there's a soldier who's in charge of telling the families, we should never hear about it, that one of the kids, something happened to him and he got killed. I once met a Yid a number of years ago, which told me his job was to knock on the family's doors and tell them that their dear son, something happened to him and he got blown up by a bomb. His job was to knock on the guy's door and tell them what happened. Imagine. We should never hear about it. We should never know about it. How could this person knock on the door? He's cold-blooded. Each person has got a bechira. Yes, no, I should do it, I shouldn't do it. He can be besarev, he can say I don't want to do it. Until one house, he told me, he came to one house and he knocked on the door and people knew him. People knew his name and people knew his face. He told me one house he came to, a guy punched him in the face. He got so shocked about it, he told them he's not asking him to carry on anymore. He's not asking him to do this job. Give me any other job. Put me in jail. But I can't do this job and be modia that's sad to the family. I don't know what happened then. A number of years ago, I spoke to Yid. Yoisef at Tzaddik suffered. Yoisef at Tzaddik, they put him in the bore. Even though they told him that Yoisef had to be, the din of the Mechira had to be done. But why did you have to do it? Who are you to sign on the paper? Who are you to do the inyan of it? The Sifon Tainet, that what's written in the Pasuk, Asher inu tzoras nafsho b'tchanono yaleinu, that we were achzorim, naked our brother. Achzorim. As brought down in the Medrash springs down. What happened to Shimon? Shimon got put in jail in Mitzrayim. Why did Yoisef really put Shimon in jail? Because Shimon threw him in the bore. Yoisef wanted to make sure that Shimon should say, Ma zois osa lekim lonu. Why only me did Yoisef put in the jail? Even though he took him out. He took him out afterwards. But why did Yoisef put me in jail? He wanted Shimon to be mitoreh, to think, 1 minute, why did Yoisef put me in jail? I did something bad. I did something bad. I was the one which put him in the ball. Even though the Mechira had to be a Pidin, that's what they tied it. But why did Shimon have to do it? And when Moshe David Valley brings down that since Shimon did this story, this inyan, he put him in the ball. But was his machshava 100% l'shem shamayim? Maybe it was only 99. Maybe it was only 99.9. 99.9 is not 100%. It's nearly, but it's not 100%. And that 0.0001, which was, we can't understand how Chashash, something happened to Shimon, and Moshe David Valley brings down, came out to Shimon Zimri. And we all know about Zimri, what happened, who he was. Pashas Bolok. Zimri Beisav Shimoini, of Midian, v'chulu v'chulu. And Yehuda, what did Yehuda do? Yehuda sold him. Yoisef knew that Gua Yeh Yehuda. Yehuda's got a koich over here. He told Yehuda, you bring me Binyamin. And he put the koich in the tick of Binyamin. And even though afterwards written in the Medrash, the Menashe put the koich in the bag, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him a piece of karka here, and a piece of ground over here, because he caused the brothers to tear the clothes. We can't understand nothing. But we see from here one nukuda. we see from here the point that if a person does something, and the something what the person does is not 100 L'Shem Shamayim, then Chas v'Sholom, we have to pay for it. If it's by Yehuda, if it's by Asor Ruge Malchus, by anything, what it is, what we see of this parasha. There's another point I want to tell you of this parasha, because who is falls on Chanuka. What does it say in our parasha? L'chu el Yoisef asher yoim elechem ta'asu. Yoisef told them to do bris milah. So the Chanuka says, why did Yoisef tell them to do bris milah? To make a shmira on the tvuah, to make a shmira that the wheat and the barley and everything goes on the field shouldn't be moldy. You should keep strong and safe and healthy and fresh. The Chanuka says a person has to take off his own body the tumor, orlo, ki cherpi lonu, like Banoach. Why Banoach weren't they allowed to do in the boat, in the teva, ish v'ishtoi, the men should be alone and the women alone? Why? In order, the Chanuka says, to be a shmir on the tvur, you have to separate yourself downstairs also. You have to make a shmir on yourself, so also the tvur, also the wheat and the barley and everything, which is all the grains, will stay fresh, won't get moldy, won't get worms, because the person is shomer on himself. The Yevonim, what did the Yevonim want to do? The Yevonim wanted to cancel the Jew, Yiddishkeit. The Yiddishkeit, a Yid, Shabbos, Chodesh, Tznius. And once went to Chutz La'aretz. You can see in the houses which house is a Yid, which house is a Goy. Even without the mezuzah, a Yid has curtains, closes the curtains. He closes the blinds. He doesn't want people from the street to see what's going on inside. The Goy, everything's open. A Yid locks the door, closes the door, wears the towel. Tznius, Kedusha, Tara. The Yevonim try to be oiker, to take away, to cancel the Yiddishkeit, to cancel the Shabbos Kodesh, to cancel the Rosh Chodesh of Ta'as HaMishpocha, to cancel any sug of Yiddishkeit, of Jewishkeit, of Kedusha, which a Yid has. They try to cancel it up. That's why it's written we mustn't write the Torah in Yevonis. That's what the Ramchal says. Because it's a chashash. If you write it in Yevonis, you become to Yevonis, you become to Greek and all that. From here you see, L'chu el Yoisef asher yoim elechem ta'asu. You want to have a shmira, go after Yoisef HaTzadik. Hayom Rov and Yono is tomorrow morning, Be'ezrat Hashem, in Hallel. We will mention Hayom Rov Hayonos of Yoisef HaTzadik, Vayonos Vayetze Chutza. Yoisef HaTzadik tiny to the brothers, even though you sold me, because you tiny, you had to sell me, but I'm not moichel. When I was in the house of the Mitzri, and you caused me to fall down in Yiddishkeit, you caused me to go down in Yiddishkeit, that I'm not moichel you. And that's what it's written in the Medrash, when the Chassan Sofer brings down in Parshas Vayechi, that he brings down that Yoisef was never said to them openly. Chassan brings down this in the name of Rabbeinu Bachai. He never told them, I'm moichel you b'leiv sholem. You sold me. But to say openly, I am moichel you, he didn't say I am moichel you. And because of that, that caused the Socher Malchus, and that caused all what happened all through all the generations. We hope you have a lovely Chanuka, and a wonderful Shabbos, and Simchas, and Nachas, and Kedusha, and Zois Chanuka, and Siyata D'Ishmaya. We should all be benched with all the brachos written in the Torah.